What is your biggest fear for when you get older? Huh? Is your biggest fear growing older and being alone? Not having anyone around? Especially if you have kids and you know that in no time they're going to be grown, possibly move away, and leave you all alone. People don't understand that when you have kids, they take over your life. They really, really do. And I'm driving, so I can't be looking and driving at the same time. So when I have a chance, I'll definitely glimpse at you. But when I can't, I'll just be talking and driving. But yes, people don't understand that when you have kids, they actually consume your life, you know? They kind of take over. Everything pretty much is about your kids. Once you start having them or getting them, you know, your life dramatically changes, you know? The priority is your kids, making sure they're good, they're fed, they're clothed, they're loved. And a lot of times, if you are in a relationship, then that relationship gets pushed aside, you know? The relationship becomes secondary, and that should not be. There has to be a balance to keep that relationship going and take care of your kids. But in so many situations, you know, that doesn't happen. You know, the kids become priority and everything else just get left in the dust. So what happens now is once the kids grow up and they decide to flee the nest, then it's like you're scrambling. You don't know what to do. If your spouse is in the house, you guys have kind of lost track of each other. So it's like you become strangers, you know? And now it's a struggle to kind of put the pieces back together. You know, it's like you guys are trying to find each other again. And that's a lot of strain, because if years have passed in your relationship and you guys haven't really met eye to eye, you know, and haven't been doing things together and focusing on each other, it's really hard to get back to where you were. And the thing is, people change as time progresses. So the husband or the wife you knew before you had kids, that person has changed so much, you know, so that now that the kids are grown, it's like you're trying to figure out who this person is. You guys are trying to find each other again, and that can be a big struggle. Now, if you're a single parent, single mom, single dad, it doesn't matter, and you got your kid and you're taking care of them, right? And then you put your all into that kid, give them everything, give them all the love, you know, so much that they kind of filled the space of you having a spouse or not needing one, because, you know, you have this love of your life. But now the kid gets older and is about to flee the nest, going on their own, and now you're scrambling like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Huh? You're gonna be left all alone, and you should not, you know, tell your kids that they have to live with you, because they have to go out there and get their feet wet and experience life for themselves, you know? So they have to go out there and test the water, try the world, see the world for themselves. I do understand that it's terrible news for you, you know? But they're all excited, you know, wanting to try life on their own. The same way that you were excited to live your life, you know, without your parents. So it's the same thing with your child. They want to go out there and do life, you know? And you should encourage them to do that, especially if they're responsible and you see that they're ready to do so. Because you cannot keep them captive all their lives, you know? You need them to be independent. You need them to be able to take care of themselves. You want them to be good human beings. You want them to contribute to society. So yeah, they're going to go out there and they're going to have a family all on their own, and they need to be prepared for that. So they need to get the life skills and everything that's needed in order to do that. And to do so, they have to flee the nest, So yeah, you're going to be left all alone again. And what are you going to do now? If you're single, what are you going to do? Maybe now you're going to start thinking about, okay, trying to find someone, because you weren't prepared for this day when your child is going to leave. You weren't thinking, or maybe you were, but you were just dreading it. And maybe thinking you had another 5 years, not knowing your child is responsible enough and, would make a decision that, hey, mom or dad, or both, I'm moving out, so, It's a thing. It's something to think about. It really is something to think about. And people who are actually going through it, it's something not to be imagined. My kids are pretty much almost grown. My son just turned 18, and I have a 16-year-old who's going on 17. So I know that my time is coming, and I'm trying to brace for it, but all I tell them is that, listen, don't move more than 30 minutes away from me, okay? Because I need to be able to see you. And if you move out of state, you better bring me with you, take me with you. So yeah, that's what I tell them. I don't know if they're listening to that part, or if they're going to, oblige me or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't want to be far away from my kids. I want to be present in their lives. And, when they do get their own kids and stuff like that, I want to be a present grandma, I don't want to be hours away. I don't want to be doing that phone thing. No, I want to be right then and there. The people that I love close to me. That's what I want. So hopefully it works out in my favor, and since I have boys, hopefully the women that they may get in their lives are women who are family oriented, love their moms, love their dads, and will not want to take my sons away from me, say, hey, let your mom stay east and let us go west. So I hope and I pray that nothing like that happens to me, because I really want to be around my kids. I don't want to be an intervening mom. I want them to live their lives, do their thing, have their own space. It is important, but I just want to know that if I want to see them, I could drive and go see them easily. Or if they miss me enough and want to come see mom, I'm right there, a few minutes away. And when the grandkids come, hey, they can come stay with me, I can just love on them. So that's what I want. So yeah, what is some of the biggest fears, or what is one of the biggest fear? Growing old and being alone. It's not an easy thing at all. It's not easy. People may act like they don't need each other, or they don't need people around them, but it's important. It doesn't have to be someone who's constantly up in your face, right? But it's important to have people around you. People that you can share with from time to time whenever you choose to, But yeah, that social interaction, it is so important. And, it's good to have like the right people around you to be doing that with. Now, come on, if it's somebody that you don't want to be around, then that's just going to defeat the whole purpose. So you want people who are good to you, people who you value. Those are the people you want around you when that time comes around. So if you're married and you're prioritizing your kids, hey, you got to share, okay? Make your husband, make your wife a priority. Let them know that you love them and that you care for them, and keep doing what you were doing before you started having kids. Now, I know you may not be able to go the full 100, right? But at least 50% of the things. And the important thing is to have that open conversation, you know? Let them know that, baby, I know I used to do this, but now that we have the kids, they've taken up, you know, my time a little bit more, so I'm not able to do all the things. And I'm sure your spouse is going to have that same reaction too, because if your spouse is an involved parent, then they're going to be sharing in the things that you're doing. But you both have to remember that, hey, we got to take care of us, right? Absolutely. And if you're a single parent, just don't think that your kids are going to live with you for the rest of their lives. You got to start planning these things ahead. If you're interested in finding someone, you know, then start doing that, you know. Start making a life for yourself, you know, knowing that one day your kids are going to flee the nest and you're going to be all alone. And if you don't want to be alone, then hey, try to find someone to fill that gap. And if you're content with being alone in a sense, then you need to surround yourself with friends, you know, surround yourself with relatives that you can trust and talk to. But yeah, you have to do something to fill that gap, you know. Just think of the inevitable, you know, what is going to come. Don't just wait for the last minute. That is not going to serve you. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, you know what to do. And I am going to see you in the next one.